Well, welcome to Rugby Park, Mount Isa, for this grand final day for the 1991 season. It truly is a magnificent day for rugby here. As far as the breeze goes, it's rather unusual, blowing only a light breeze from the northeast. The day is quite warm so far, but it's bound to cool off as the sun drops. The preparation of the ground is excellent once again, thanks to the untiring efforts of Jim Moffat. There hasn't been a great deal of fanfare leading up to this day, but with 3 of the 4 Mount Isa clubs represented in the finals, plus there being 4 games on the program, couple all that with the extraordinary popularity that rugby is enjoying in the lead-up to the World Cup, I'm sure that the committee will be rewarded with a big roll-up and a good bar and gate takings. Of course, the Mount Isa Rugby Union is launching their fundraising for the new clubhouse today, to be built in the off-season, and a successful day here will boost their capital to kick off. The new clubhouse is an ambitious project which can only draw more support to this ground. When completed, the building will signal the start of a new era for the Mount Isa Rugby Union, bringing a formal touch to a code that is enjoyed by players from all levels of the Isa community, from school kids to tradesmen to company managers. The camaraderie inspired by the game can only be fostered by an on-field meeting place such as this, and the future looks bright for the Mount Isa Rugby Union in 1992 and beyond. Well, let's turn now to the first game of the day. We have an invitation side visiting from the mining township of Gunpowder. The establishment of the side was encouraged by Boz and Anne McGowan, former Mount Isa residents who are now living and working in the town of Gunpowder. They have played a number of times during the season as curtain raisers to the Mount Isa representative games. Their side includes Jim Maltman, who was one of the players in the first home representative game for the Mount Isa side in 1972. Their side this week is almost complete, although they have had to include a couple of extras, and you'll see in their colours, in true barbarian form, they have Hags Harrison and Jim Stanton. Their opposition is in the War Eagles colours is the Mount Isa 15. It's comprised mostly of players from the C grade competition. Their side is strengthened with the experience of Paul Shepherd and of course Ray Clark, one of the foundation players from Mount Isa Rugby Union, still playing 20 years on. He is also a life member. Their referee for the game today is the mentor of the Gunpowder side, Boz McGowan, who is also going to be playing in the A-grade grand final later in the day. Well, we'd like to take you now to some highlights from the first half of what resulted in a very entertaining and free-flowing game. Paul Shepherd seems to have a problem with his hand there. He's giving a bit of a shake. See the Isa back line set to run. Won by Harrison for the Gunpowder side. Ball goes to ground and McGowan has called it up for a penalty. It's been won by the Gunpowder side, taking it away up the blind. The early part of the game was characterised by the pressure that Gunpowder applied to the Mount Isa line. Once again, bustling for the line, looking for the 4-pointer. Ball's dragged out the back and pressed by a Mount Isa player. Ray Clark to drop out, chooses the short side, gives the ball to his backs and away they go again. Some strong running, linking up with the forwards coming through. Back to the man who started the play. Quickly through the hands and spread it again. Ball's wide. Ray Clark started that move right off the kick and he's in there again distributing from the outside. Jimmy Stanton about to send it wide and changes his mind, sneaks back up the blind side. Yeah, there's a centre kick from the winger. Isa coming back, oh, lucky bounce. Isa to counter attack. Changing direction. I think that might have been a forward pass there. When you look at these gunpowder forwards, Hags Harrison is the biggest man and the tallest man in the front row, standing a bald head above the rest of his teammates. Ball won there by Gunpowder, spun it wide. Didn't quite cross the gain line. Mount Isa out wide to Clark, spins it to his centres. Oh, he's bustled, tied up out wide. The ball's knocked on. Some crashing charges up through the centre by the big second rower, former Kears player, Willie. Won't come out of there. Oh, and a penalty to Isa. Ray Clark showing off his latent skills there with some midfield kicks that Michael Lynham would be proud of. The back line setting sail again, a pass by Vincent, back out to into Vincent, and he puts it to green. Good bustling from the Isa forwards. Great pass to Stanton, back to the second row. Plenty of gunpowder forwards in there. Stanton ties it up, Big Willie, set sail again. Well parked by the second row mate there. Here goes Stanton again, rolling it off. Some great passages of entertaining play there. A win for Isa. Back to a front row forward who puts it up the box. Down the line looking for touch. Hasn't found his touch. Gunpowder to counter attack. Running across the field. Feeds it to a second rower who's back there. Oh, and a huge fend on the fullback. Big Willie off again. Running like a centre. The play ends with a knock on. Well, late in the first half, that passage of broken play resulted in the first try to the Mount Isa side. Gunpowder then took up the challenge and used every trick they could to level the score until an intercept. Intercept from Gunpowder. Another intercept there from Mount Isa. The Mount Isa side's away. Vincent out wide, running around his defence. And he's looking for the inside pass and gives the ball to his centre partner who runs in to score under the post. Well, up until that time, the scores were pretty well locked up, but the Isa side running away with it right towards the end of the game. In true C-grade spirit, however, the final score was misplaced. However, the crowd was entertained and the players made the most of the day, and there were no losers. Perhaps in coming seasons we're going to see a fair bit more of this Gunpowder rugby team. Well, during the second half of that first game, the Euros and West Reserve grade sides have been undergoing their last-minute preparations for their grand final encounter. Euros have enjoyed considerable success in this competition in previous years, and of course they'd have to go in as favourites in 1991. They've had a very strong season. Their side today, as we can see, we have Claffey, O'Connor and Graham in the front row, Moran and Baker in the second row. Some key people, Johnson and Crooks at the back of the scrum, and Crawshaw on the other side. John Jackson is going to have a great influence on the game. His ability to turn a game around with the boot, and some he runs very well off the side of a scrum. And General Jeff Pratt in the midfield, the veteran Michael O'Connor in the centres, with Simon, Cooker and Wallace, and at fullback the towering Andrew Lawrenson, who's going to be a key player. I'd suggest if they get within kicking range, he doesn't miss too many of them today. Well, the reserves for Euros are Ellis, Toya, Edbrook, Smith, Brand, Hornsby, Crissato and Foxley. Alright, looking now at Wests, on the other hand, they've had a mixed bag really, only coming into the grand final after a hard-fought victory against Kears in the major semi-final. They're disadvantaged in a way today by having both grades playing in A and reserve grade grand finals. The reserve grade players have had to cover for first grade injuries, leaving their side probably less than full strength. The West second 15 for today's game. The front row is Hegarty, Dent and Popple. Second row Dredge and Wright. Buckhorn and Bowring on the flanks, and Dion at number 8. Halfback Longdon, the 5'8 Haller, and the centres Ferris and Jason Hall. On the wings we have captain coach Jerry Dukic and Rajapaksi on the other side, and the fullback Paul Chalakis. The reserves for Wests are Garner, Cribb, Thomas, Tardent and English.
Well, you can hear the cheers from the grandstand there as Euros take the field. We have enjoyed quite a bit of support from the grandstand today and from this rather large crowd. You see the captains tossing, shaking hands. The officials for today's game, the referee is John Herring, a former Euros player, and the linesmen are Mr. Ed Mounsey and Mr. Dick Potts. Some quick service from the Euros back line. That's where they'll be looking to play today. Their strength, I think, certainly is out wide. They've got a fairly good set of forwards, but some very experience, a great deal of experience and cunning in that back line. John Jackson at halfback, Jeff Pratt midfield. Great little run around there from Pratt on Mick O'Connor. And some very hard running centres and wingers. Jackson to O'Connor, chips it over the top, follows it through and they pick up a few metres.
Well, I think there's no more fitting indication than of the game today than the scoreboard. Euros 23, Wests 4 full time. The second half deteriorated to somewhat broken play, but it was punctuated by the turnarounds from Euros through the boots of Jackson and Lawrenson. The shining light for West was the skills displayed by Roger Paxi, certainly doing his part to keep the opposition honest. The Bulldogs forwards often drove Euros off the ball, only to lose it in the scrappy second phase play. The try scorer for the Green was the outside centre Hall. For Euros, the very patriotic Tony Wallace worked hard on the wing all day, and he was rewarded with 2 tries. The remainder of the points were all collected by the fullback Andrew Lawrenson, with 1 try, a conversion and 3 penalties. A personal tally of 15 points for the game. There you see the President of the Mount Isa Rugby Union, Mr Barry Sullivan, presents the Tube Makers Cup to Euros captain Crooks, and he proudly holds it aloft. Once again, Euros have won the reserve grade grand final. Well, now we'd like to show you some highlights of the junior games that were a curtain raiser to the A-grade grand final. Well, like the Pied Piper, Frank Burrell has gathered a band of children around him, and they train and play every Friday night under lights at Rugby Park. They are split into 2 age groups, and the aim is to teach them rugby skills at an early age. There's been some really good involvement from the parents and from past players who come down every week to coach the youngsters and to referee the games. You would have noticed just before there a rather unusual scrum comprised of only 4 players from each side. This team is the over 8s, and certainly they're not lacking in the rucking and mauling skills, and perhaps we've got some future All Blacks in there, or Wallabies. Certainly some big prop forwards. Just getting some coaching there for the line-out skills, and the ball's gone down the back. It's up to the loose men to pick up the scraps. At the other end of the field we have the under 8 side, and some of them you can see there the jerseys are bigger than they are. They have to tuck them in so they don't trip over them. The younger guys obviously need a little bit more help on the field, but they're still not lacking in the aggression and the keenness to get out and to play the game and pass the ball around. And there's a future 5'8" trying his hand. Turn now to the two clubs who are contesting the grand final, the Mount Isa Rugby Union grand final for 1991. First, let's have a look at the West's club. This year it's coached by Derek Hansen, and he's also a player playing at number 15, the fullback. West won last year's grand final after a very close tussle against Euros, and they took home the premiership with a win of 7 points to 6. They were the minor premiers this year, and of course they're very lucky to be in the grand final after scraping home in the semi-final against War Eagles and winning that game by 11 points to 10. Very unfortunate in the mid-season. They lost one of their star players, 5'8", and fill-in fullback, of course, Chris Proctor. Also in the mid-season, they lost their star halfback, Graham Carlsberg, through injury. He's back on the reserve bench today. Another blow to the club during the week was the last-minute withdrawal of Robbie James through injury. So let's look at the side for today then. The front row of Thompson, Vaness and Wilkinson. Very experienced front row. In the second row, Grant Hansen, the brother of the coach Derek, and he's partnering the very experienced Tim McGurk. Gilbert and Sartain on the flanks, and the former Queensland Country representative Graham McGowan at number 8. The halves are White and McWilkes, and in the centres we have Almond and Macaulay. Burt and Grindley cover the flanks, and Derek Hansen is, as I said, the fullback and also the coach of the club. And on the bench for West today are Hall, Tate, Carlsberg, Heather and Thomas. Turning now to Kears. The Kears very experienced forward pack and a very mobile forward pack as well. with Riggs and Muirt in the front row and Pons as the hooker. Captain coach Chris Roberts and Martin in the second row. Former North Queensland representative Kautai with Costa on the side of the scrum, and Charlie Bowler at number 8. Very solid customer in Bowler at number 8. Broderick at halfback, returning from injury again. He's only played a couple of games after having a fair bit of the year away through injury. Timoti at 5'8", Wellington and the danger man Boffey in the centres. Robbie Simmons, a very handy utility player, very quick around the field. Simmons on one wing and Connor on the other wing. Of course, at fullback, Zach Costa, the son of flanker Peter Costa, and Zach playing his first A-grade season at the age of 16, and they'll be looking to sew up this grand final as a father and son team today. Kia's, looking through the records, Kia's were in the grand final the very first 3 years of the Mount Isa competition at 1971, 72 and 73. However, their last premiership honours in A-grade came in 1976 under the coach of Telfer Coburn. So Roberts will be very keen today to pick up an A-grade flag after 15 years of drought. They've had a tremendous year, unlucky to miss out on the minor premiership, and one player that they are going to miss today is their try-scoring machine from throughout the year is Brad Diggle. The reserves for Kiers are Lepo, Taihini, Clip, Bell, Sullivan, Koitka and Robbins. So the West Rugby Union A-grade side take the field under the leadership and direction of Derek Hansen, fullback, number 15. Come onto the field. And the feeling around the ground is fairly intense. Wests are keen to get on with the game. Kiers sticking together. Plenty of support for Kiers in the grandstand. Running with the light breeze in the first half. Kiers kicking off, centre Richard Boffey to start the play. It's a short ball, fairly high, picked up cleanly by the front rower from West. West forwards drive in, seem to have the advantage, the halfback clears. Charlie Sartain takes it away up the sideline, picked up by a Kiers forward and distributed out along the back line. Boffey, Costa, out to the winger, plenty of room. Centre kick, picked up and carried out by Derek Hansen. First line out of the game. The Kiers put in the throw from Arthur Pons yet to come. Referee Tai Urkai looking for the spaces straight away. Short ball number 2. The deflected back. Peter Costa from the back of the line out picks it up. Kears drive through the centre of the ruck. Seem to have the ball well controlled. Wests are coming around the back of the ruck to pick it up. Terry Broderick to clear it. Oh, the 5'8" spilled it. And he's driven back into his own territory. Plenty of rucking from the Kears forwards. They're hungry to get this ball and make some metres. 5'8", no mistake this time. To the fullback and out to the wing. Then called back for a forward pass. Now we'll see a scrum and we'll see where the domination lies in these two very strong forward packs. Very well drilled teams, both of them. Terry Broderick putting plenty of pressure on the West halfback. Advantage to the West side. Mick Wills clears, finds the line after the bounce. It's a metre short of the halfway line. Another line out. This time Kears throw again. Bit of a problem for the players there with the sun in their eyes on this side of the field. Before too much longer we'll have long shadows. The sun drops down behind the grandstand. It's a longer throw. Round number 5. Deflected back by Boz McGowan. West's forwards piling on. Halfback picks it up and he's in trouble. Driven into touch. What's that level like when I'm talking? Not too high, is it? When I'm talking. Let's see it. Hello. Hello. Yeah, it's fairly high. Fairly high. Kears line out again. Let's see if we can do something constructive. Taking plenty of time with the calls. Kears backs are very deep. Richard Boffey standing off. He's going to be a key player in this game. Ball deflected straight into the hands of Broderick. And along the back line, Boffey straightens it. Zach Costa breaks through. And the ball's loose. Richard Boffey picks it up, but there's been a knock forward. See you, Darryl. West feed into the scrum again. Ball's held in. Plenty of pressure from Broderick. It's cleared to Hansen and straight out behind the 25, and he's picked up around about 20 metres with that kick, bringing play to within 4 or 5 metres of the halfway line. Kears once again. We're yet to see a West put into a line out. Very little of the play has actually been into the Kears half. West distribute. There's a cutout, but a misunderstanding. The inside centre fumbles the ball. The outside centre picks up. And there's a free-for-all. West come away with the ball, but under a lot of pressure. The winger isn't in the place to take the pass, and he gets driven into touch again. Some driving work from Terry Broderick, the halfback, picking up the scraps over there. Yet another Kears line out right underneath the QTV scoreboard. 0-0 the score. Again deflected for Kears. Ball scrappy on the ground though. It looks like it's going to come out. Yes. Broderick feeds the 5'8". Straight back into the forwards and charges his way through. Puts Kears on the front foot. A lovely feed to Peter Costa.
Although Costa was tackled, he was slung around and was able to place the ball right on the outside of the post. There shouldn't be too much trouble with the conversion. And Kears post first points in their quest for the first A-grade grand final victory in 15 years. Who puts Kears on the front foot. Lovely feed to Peter Costa. And although Costa was tackled, he was slung around and was able to place the ball right on the outside of the post. There shouldn't be too much trouble with the conversion. West centre Mark McCauley restarts the play with a funny sort of a kick to the far side of the field, to the backs, and it goes straight into the arms of one of the centres, and it eventually is knocked forward, and play is brought back to 10 metres into Kears territory. West scrum win again. Ball's towed ahead into the box. There's not too many people at home. The West forwards get there in a hurry, and perhaps West will come out with the ball. No, there's been a mix-up at the back of the ruck, and Kears forwards were able to come around and upset the play. It's going to be a scrum, knock on to West, Kears to feed. Kears will be looking to clear fairly quickly from this area. They're inside their own 25. Good decoy there by Broderick. He's caught a couple of the West's loose forwards offside. And although he got the clear and kick away, it didn't find touch, and players been brought back with a penalty after playing the advantage from that scrum. Centre Richard Boffey is going to take the kick for the line. And I'd say the Kears wingers will be looking to follow fairly quickly. Ball's off the side of the boot. It's come actually back towards the centre of the field. It's picked up by Derek Hansen. Makes a few metres and then puts the ball high. Unfortunately, it's out on the full. Again off the side of the boot. Again, before the throw in at the line out, Kears are regaining their composure, settling down, having a good long think about the line out and taking their time with the calls. Wests are keen and eager to get on with it. Went through a number of hands. A penalty has been awarded, I would say, for holding or charging in the line. That sun seems to be having some effect on the players. They're not able to get a good clean two-handed take. With the penalty and Kears 6-0 in front, Richard Boffey has elected to take a kick at goal, and it'd have to be some 40-odd metres. 6 metres short of the halfway line, to be exact. This kick to give Kears a good clear lead of 9 points. Just went past the post, but by that time it was far too late to go over the crossbar. The kick's gone deep. It's up to one of the centres to drop back, takes the ball and counter-attacks. Charging up, crosses the halfway line, puts the ball high, Goes to the West fullback, and he's tackled by the man who kicked the ball. West distribute the ball around, but it looks like it's going to get tied up. We're going to end up with a rather messy ruck. The ball's picked up and cleared from behind the 25 by a West player. Pretty scrappy situation there. West having a little bit of trouble just tying it up and getting a good set ruck. I can't recall seeing West have a put in yet. They must be doing all the clearing, I'd say. Absorbing all the pressure at this stage. Ball picked up, I think, by Malmuir. He goes to ground, fairly tight maul and ruck situation. The ball's distributed freely by the Kears backs. Richard Boffey kicks for the far line and finds touch easily. Brings him to a point about 8 or 10 metres out from the West goal line. Plenty of pressure from Kears. They'll now be looking to convert. Chris Roberts drops out of the line out to match the numbers in the West's feed. First time in the game. Straight to the hands of the halfback. A lot of Kears players coming through. West have the ball, Hansen to clear. It's a huge kick down over halfway, not finding touch. Must have been that close to the line. Kick back over there by Robbie Simmons, fielded by a West player, cleared to Hansen again, who finds the line from within his 25, taking the play right back up near the halfway. So Kears from that pressure situation being put on the back foot. Kears ball, Broderick having to scramble back to get it and carrying it into touch. Another West line out. Around the middle, but the sweeper missed it, picked up down the back of the line out, and Kears put on the drive. Ball's on the ground, Kears getting the boot over the top of it, and although the ball was coming free, the play was held up, the referee was on the far side. Brings the play in for a scrum on the 15-metre line. About 6 or 7 metres into Kears territory. It's the first time we've really seen the play stay in Kears territory. Wests are going to need to exert a fair bit of pressure to stay down this end. They're going to have to really fire their backs up, get some good quality possession and get the backs on the forward foot. West feed and Kears drive them back. After West won the ball, it went back into the Kears side of the scrum. Broderick clears. A long kick from the centres. Hansen takes the ball but spills it and is lucky to clear it as the pressure comes through from the Kears back line. So from finally making some inroads into Kears territory, West have come right back down now. They're at their own 25 now. And Kears with the line out put in once again. It's a long throw. Cleaned up by Charlie Sartain at the end and picked up by the 5'8" McWilks. West forwards coming in, but it looks like they haven't really set themselves. So Kears coming out with the ball once more. To Boffey. Boffey hesitating. Then feeding the back line. Centre slicing through. Zach Costa, the fullback, looking for the line. He's been pushed out right at the last moment. Referee Tai Uakai right on the spot. Some charging in from the Kears forwards. Certainly from this angle we could see the ball being pushed back out after coming down behind the line. I doubt that it was under control when it was pressed. So now we've got a 5 metre scrum, and from previous scrums I would say Kears will be exerting a fair bit of pressure, and it's a Kears feed. Well, West are looking to save some pride. The ball's loose. West put the drive on and turned the scrum 90 degrees. A lot of responsibility on the West back row and on number 8 Bos McGowan here. Another try from Kears could certainly, the West scrum has collapsed. Kears number 8 charging over. Another Kears forward has picked up the ball and has wrestled his way over the line. Looks like Malcolm Hewitt. And on number 8 Bos McGowan here. Another try from Kears could certainly, the West scrum has collapsed. Kears number 8 charging over. Another Kears forward has picked up the ball and has wrestled his way over the line. Looks like Malcolm Hewitt. Derek Hansen asking the question of Tai Uakai, but the decision has been made and it can't be changed. The conversion was unsuccessful, but still takes the score to 10-0 in favour of Kears. Very deep kick going right back down near the goal line. Terry Broderick right back there to pick it up and clears well. Taking play right back to within about 12 metres of the halfway line. West looking for the quick one. It's not there. They're going to settle down and tighten it up. Veteran Charlie Sartain calling from the back of the line out. Ball comes deflected and comes into McGowan's hands, and he sets it up fairly easily, although the West pack is still driven back by Kears. Mick Wilkes puts the ball on the toe, but it was charged down, touched in flight by Peter Costa. The West forwards are getting up there now to get back on the ball, and backs are showing a little bit of light there. Still some bad passes, and the ball goes to ground. Referee waiting for the ruck to come up to see who's got the ball. It's awarded the feed to West, right on the 25-metre line. The option here, of course, for West is a field goal, but I doubt that they'll take it. Their 10-0 is a fair way to be down. Skillfully played back through the hands into one of the forwards, and they're setting it up. The Kears man offside. They have a penalty almost right in front of the post on the 25-metre line. One of the Kears forwards actually was trying to stand up on the wrong side of the ruck, and whether he intended to go around, we don't know, but clearly offside. Derek Hansen to try and ease the gap in the scores a little, but he's unfortunate enough to hit the outside of the upright and bounce away. No points to West. Richard Boffey to drop out from the 22-metre line right into the sun as far as West are concerned. The ball bounces. It was allowed to go past without being picked up, and has gone out, not on the full. Lovely tap from, looked like the West second rower, Grant Hansen, I think. The ball was cleared by West. Richard Boffey took it in mid-air and he appeared to be tackled before he had the ball, but was able to set it. And now Kears have been awarded a penalty. I think there was a bit of a scuffle in the midst of that maul situation. Boffey to look for touch. Off the side of the boot, and in fact it didn't find touch up on the first bounce. Didn't find touch on the full, but really only gained about 1.5 metres after the first bounce. West starting to spend a little bit of time in Kears territory now. Real problem with the sun out there at this time of the afternoon. And well taken in by West. And West starting to drive on. Kears must be hanging out. There seems to be a few forwards missing. West's able to feed the back line. Pass gone a bit wild from one of the centres. And picked up by Kears winger. Streaking up the far touchline. Hurls the ball in, the flag's been raised, and the ball certainly wasn't picked up cleanly by his support anyway. So West get the feed at the line out. Scrum, well in control. That ball at the feet of the number 8. Very experienced Bos McGowan at the back of the scrum. And easily cleared by Derek Hansen, although only gaining about 12 or 15 metres. Torrid ruck there between the two forward packs, and one of the West players came away with the ball. Terry Broderick was quick to have a few words to say. A little bit of a push and shove, and now got some height in the ball this time, but he was certainly way offline, kicking it right out into the West back line, and it was easily picked up on the full and cleared from outside, from behind the 25. Charlie Sartain just leaving the line out there to make up the numbers. Peter Costa standing out into the back line for Kears. deflection there from Chris Roberts, picked up eventually. Keir's driving it up the centre, through the centres, and then the forwards taking over fairly quickly, and now they've got the drive on. Just regrouping, and the ball goes to ground. It's blown up. Keir's will get the scrum feed right in front of the post, and I think they'll be looking to spread it to make put a few more points on the board. I don't think they'll be happy with the field goal. Keir's a centre aside. And a bit of a dummy from Terry Broderick. Charlie Sartain standing off the scrum, looking around. Now, field goal from Terry Broderick, deflected by a West player. Derek Hansen picks it up and is able to clear it once again under a great deal of pressure. Great pressure there from the back row from the Keir scrum, coming through on Hansen very quickly, making him hurry his kick. These Keir's forwards working very well as a unit, getting around the field very quickly, and when they get there, putting plenty of drive into the rucks and maul situations. Great control there by the Keir's forwards. Peter Costa feeding the ball to Terry Broderick, charging ahead up the blind side, feeding it out to Arthur Pons, who accidentally unfortunately puts a foot into touch. He was feeding the ball back inside, and plenty of support there from Keir's. We were looking at another 6-pointer. West line out. We're looking to clear, get well out of this territory. Grant Hansen to the halfback, wrapped up easily by the Keir's forwards. Brought to ground. The ball cleared by West back to the 5-8, but the advantage was being played, and referee Tai Uakai called it back for a penalty. Mark McCauley to look for touch. And a huge kick with the wind at his back, but not finding touch. Only a metre inside the touch line. He spreads it across. Zach Costa taking off, beats all defenders. Drops the ball, is picked up by Richard Boffey. Nowhere to go. He's met by a fairly solid wall of forwards, and the ball's wrapped up. The West forwards this time were fairly quick to the breakdown. And it's called up for the scrum. Keir's get the feed. Ball came out of that scrum fairly quickly. Terry Broderick had to scramble to chase it. And the 5-8 puts the ball fairly high. It's picked up by the West winger, and is able to clear it from behind his 25. Certainly the one thing that's been obvious is most of the play has been down in the West territory. And although West have got the prevailing wind at their back, they don't seem to be able to get quality possession and make use of it. Well cleared again by Keir's. Richard Boffey standing in the tackle, clearing to Zach Costa. He's weaving his way around the outside. Tamodi takes it off him and is driven into touch. West once again looking for the quick one. Thrown in quickly. Terry Broderick was standing there to spoil as the hooker tried to throw the ball and gave away a penalty. I guess you could call that a professional foul. That's a huge kick from Almond. Doesn't find touch. It was pretty close to a knock-on from the winger. Fed it back to Broderick, who's run it through, chipped ahead. And the West forwards are there fairly quickly. Kears seem to be tiring in the forwards, just a little bit slow to the breakdowns. Cleared by the West 5'8". Zach Costa cleaning up well right down the end. And clears the ball, bounces once, doesn't quite find touch, but must have crossed the touch line over there, and the West halfback put a hand to it and must have put a foot into touch.
Come on, Timmy!
Once again, play back into West's half, just outside the 25. Kears with the feed to the line out. Fast approaching half-time now. West will be disappointed if they haven't got some points on the board by half-time. It's going to be an uphill battle for them in the second stanza. Kears win the line out, struggle away with it, charge it in the forwards, get there again. Broderick to clear. Wellington following his own kick. Very scrappy play there, but Kears end up with the ball. There's been a knock-on, I'd say, from the West player, and Tai Iwakai awarding the scrum to Kears. Although they've come from one side of the field to the other, they still gained a few metres. Number 8 takes the ball away from the scrum, feeds Terry Broderick, who's wrapped up. But he's got plenty of support. If he can tie it up and the Kears forwards can get the drive on, they'll be looking to get the ball back and be looking to crash over for another 4-pointer, I'd say. There's some very over-vigorous rucking there by a couple of the West forwards. And the whistle's gone as they peel away. Looks like Terry Broderick comes up with the ball. He's the man who went in with it. Kears get the scrum feed. Number 8 comes away with it again. Broderick picks it up. Boz McGowan was waiting for him. Very scrappy. The number 8 takes the ball and charges over, dives underneath all the defence, places the ball very firmly over the try line. One more try to Kears. Well, that takes the score to 14-0, and if the conversion's successful, 16-0, it's going to be very hard for West to come back. 40-odd minutes remaining. Kears certainly showing the drive and enthusiasm all around the field in all 15 positions that they've been showing all year. Under the guidance of Captain Coach Chris Roberts, they've certainly developed into a complete team. In previous years, I think it's fair to say that they've been a team of forwards and lacking in key positions in the backs, although having a number of very talented players. But this year, they've been able to put it all together. Richard Boffey steers it through the post perfectly, raises the flags at the far end, and takes Kears out to 16 points to 0. So, around about a minute to go of this half, I would say. Dejected Charlie Sartain trying to marshal his troops. Looking for a short kick-off, I'd say. No, gone long again. Straight back to Broderick. Oh, very close to a knock-on there, but he was able to grab the ball out of the air. Clears the ball well, right back up near the halfway. Kears are playing the ball where they want to play the game, right back in West territory. West winger down injured. He's been asked to move away from the field of play. Plenty of calls from Charlie Sartain down the back of the line-out. Ball goes to number 4, picked up by a Kiers player and fed easily. Peter Costa standing on one leg while being tackled, feeds it back to Moti, who drives it ahead. Chris Roberts there to pick the ball up. And although feeding it back and Kiers about to distribute the ball, as a penalty gone to Wests. We have the injured player for West being replaced. And Elman finds the line with the touch kick. And the whistle goes for half-time. Kia's fairly keen to go on with it, I'd say, but they'll be glad of the break anyway. Well, it's hard to know what the coaches are going to be saying to their teams at half-time. I would say the Kia's coach wouldn't have much to say at all. He'd be looking for the team to just keep going the way that he has, whereas the West's Derek Hansen and the forward leaders will be looking for a little more commitment, about an extra 10% from the West players. Playing a grand final, only once a year that you get to play in one of those, and that's only if you're lucky. So I think you'll be looking for plenty more commitment and a little bit more drive. Kiers seem to have the drive in the rucks and the scrums. They dominated very well early in the game, but they've slackened off a little now just to be able to match West instead of riding over the top. Terrible way to restart play for West, kicking it out on the full. Grand final football comes down to the team that makes the least mistakes can expect to pick up the maximum number of points, I think. Ball comes down for Kiers, but it's not picked up at the back of the line out by Peter Costa. He's very quick to get to the man with the ball though. To restart play with a dropout from the 22. It's a fairly short ball to Boz McGowan, and in the scuffle he's lost the ball. Arthur Pons picks it up, spreads it wide. The Kiers backs make a fair bit of ground there, and the whistle's gone once again. We have a knock on. It's been knocked forward, lost forward by the Kiers player, and West will get the scrum feed. See you later, bud, anyway. Oh, yeah. West clear the ball. It's looking for touch, but it's not going to find it. Zach Costa down there at fullback, looking to run away from the kicker. Counter-attacking on the far side of the field. Feeds the ball to Richard Boffey. Boffey, as he's tackled, pops the ball over his shoulder. Goes to West player, and when it's cleared, the pass isn't picked up. Kia's very aggressive in that back line. He's running hard onto the ball and looking to make every metre they can. West feed, and a lovely jump from number 2 by the Kia's second rower. And the ball comes back. Broderick picks the ball up, but he's very tired in the middle of that ruck. Somebody tried to take Bos McGowan's head off. And eventually goes to ground, and Taiukai has no choice but to call it up. He is able to clear the ball from the scrum. A little chip over the top for Tamati, picked up by the West second rower. Some bad hands by the West centre. And one more of those torrid ruck maul situations, and the penalty is awarded to Kiers. Some back chat. Derek Hansen asked the question. Some back chat from the West, from among the ranks, and West have been marched 10 metres. Brings them to within kicking range. Richard Boffey's going to have another shot at goal. I think this will be the icing on the cake. If they can put a 3-pointer through now, it'll be almost impossible for West to make a comeback. Start of the game, I think the Kiers players were, most of them were 10 foot tall and bulletproof. They were looking forward to this game after having an excellent year, and I would say by the time the game finishes, they'll be almost 20 foot tall and bulletproof. He's kicked it well, steered it right over, good height and length, and obviously the line was right as well. The flags are raised. 19 points to nil in favour of West, in favour of Kiers, I'm sorry. It's all uphill for the West forwards from here. Actually, the breeze seems to have turned a bit, so it's coming across from the northeast side of the ground. Although it's still not a very big breeze, I don't think it's going to give anyone a lot of advantage. The ball's locked up. West actually have the drive. And finally, a Kiers player charged in and brought the maul to the ground, and consequently, Kiers have got the scrum feed. Kiers easily controlling the ball at the back of the scrum. West attempting to put the push on. Kiers spread it. Dave Wellington wins the race to the ball. A very lucky bounce. Pops it over the top. Richard Boffey very unlucky to put the ball to ground. Came back up and he gathered it in his arms and he was away, but called back for the knock-on. West with the scrum feed. West win the ball, but they certainly lost the scrum. The ball comes careering out the back. Mick Wilkes picks it up and he's taken to ground by the Kiers forwards. And West are getting frustrated now. There's some off-the-ball rucking and a fair bit of lying on the ball. I would say there's some dangerous play creeping into the game, and frustration really sets in. Of course, Kiers having that good drive on the man with the ball, and they regain the feed. Terry Broderick with his number 8 working very well at the back of the scrum. A little dummy. Lovely chip from Tamati. Straight to the West halfback, who chips it over, and it's picked up by Costa, who accidentally knocks it forward. Very uncharacteristic for Peter Costa to make a mistake like that firstly, and then not to play the whistle. Quick feed from West. However, Tai Iwakai calls the play back, and we'll have a scrum. Kears driving West off that ball. I think there was a hint of a forward pass there, but certainly Derek Hansen wasn't going to let the referee know about it when he fed the winger, and it looked like the winger was away, broke through a tackle, but spilled the ball. Taken away from the West scrum and fed back inside to the runners twice. They take it into the ruck situation and come out with it, feeding the back line well. Man overran, Derek Hansen overran the pass, went over the back of it, over his shoulder, and it went to ground. Called back for a scrum for the knock on. West's attempting to gain some ascendancy there in the scrum and putting the drive on early. Keir's not set, so the scrum is called again. One of the West front rowers are down injured, so because of the fact that he is a front rower and he is right within the field of play and a scrum is ensuing, the play will be held up for the trainer to come on the field. It's ideal conditions for rugby today, although still just a little warm out there under the sun, I'd say. Not much of a breeze to carry the heat away. Kears once again working this ball down to the back of the scrum. Number 8 picks up, feeds to Broderick, who's standing just a little close. He's able to sneak around the far side of the scrum. Chip ahead, but of course out on the full. One of the rare cases of misunderstanding between Broderick and his number 8 at the back of the scrum. An excellent jump from Grant Hansen. Pulled down, I think, by Bos McGowan. However, the ball does go to ground. Picked up by a Kears player. And West's putting on a bit of a drive. It looks like Chris Roberts. The ball's changing hands there fairly regular, I'd say, and it has come back through the hands of the Kears forward pack, and now they're going to take it away up the open side. Broderick takes it away, but he's caught fairly quickly. Kears driving once again. Broderick won't let go in a hurry. No, it's not Broderick. West come away with it. West halfback feeding it out to a flying prop. Feeds it to his number 8 and is tackled from behind. Passes it inside to the winger, who's tackled from behind. And some very scrappy play. The ball's all over the place. Picked up by Zach Costa and towed ahead. And the biggest man on the field, Bos McGowan, picks it up and is tackled by the smallest man. Costa comes away, picks up the ball and goes ahead once more. Certainly an effort to be proud of there from Costa. Grant Hansen's getting his hands to the ball, but he's not. West forwards aren't able to clean it up. Halfback takes it ahead. It's scrambled back through the hands. McGowan picks it up and cleans up and feeds it. West backline having a chance to show their wares. Macaulay charging ahead. Almond spills the ball, picked up by Bowler for Kears. West come away once again. The ball's put in the air by the West winger and goes out on the full. Players brought back to behind where the ruck situation was. Once again, some miserable basic mistakes from West, and it's costing them territory, which is costing them a fair bit of, costing them points in the long run. Veteran prop Patrick Tate takes the field. Both knees heavily bandaged. Keir's taken plenty of time to settle this game down, work out their calls. Ball goes high. Broderick picks it cleanly out of the air, takes a bit of a scramble backwards and then clears it across the field to his 5'8". Straight out to the backs. It's picked up loose on the toes of the Keir's back and picked up by McWilkes. 5'8" for West. It looks like West might come away with it. They've actually got a drive. The ball's gone to ground. Doesn't look as though it's going to come out. Taiuakai looking for the ball, and just as it pops out the back on the Keir's side of the scrum, the whistle goes. And West had the final drive. They're going to get the feed. So West speed the scrum, and they seem to have it under control. Once again, the West back line severely disrupted. The pass is going behind the players. Richard Boffey comes through. He's just about carried over the line by the West player. I think the play will come back for a knock-on from Boffey, and it'll be a 5-metre scrum. About 8 metres in from touch. One of the West players on the ground in back play, having a bit of trouble with injury by the looks. Just want to stop the play. It was a fine break from Keir's. Just once again the simple mistakes, and there seems to be the lack of coordination in the West back line. The back line standing very flat on the attacking ball. The pass came out and went behind the inside centre's shoulder. He had to turn back for it and held up the rest of the back line, and he was put to ground without the ball and came down fairly heavily in the tackle. So West having the feed on a 5-metre scrum right on their line. They'll be looking to cement this front row into place and get some clean ball back to Derek Hansen or to Mark Macaulay back behind the scrum. He's standing well back on the touch and goal, the dead ball line. Looks like the scrum was turned through the 90 degrees. They'll repack the scrum. It's a very tight scrum. West halfback comes out with it. It's a clearing kick by Almond, and that's a shocker. It's crossed the touchline in the in-goal area, about a metre behind the goal line. So we'll repack a 5 metre scrum. This time the feed going to the attacking team, Kears, and they'll be looking to put some weight into this scrum. Kears, the sort of team who enjoys 5 metre pushover tries. Number 8 takes it away. Broderick was right there with him. The West players coming over the top, but the Kears man not releasing the ball, and a penalty to West. Kears number 8 appears to have been injured in that tackle, and right on the spot where the West penalty has been awarded. He certainly had plenty of attention when he took that ball forward from the scrum. Well, he's been a powerhouse for the Kears crossing the gain line from the scrum situation, and he's going to be sorely missed, but looks like he's been replaced and coming off with an ankle injury. The West's penalty kick gaining some 25 metres. It's a long throw, brought down by a couple of pairs of Kears' hands and easily swept up and taken in to be set up. However, West seem to have the drive. Kears now getting back on the front foot. Broderick calling the shots at the back, urging his forwards on. Kears clear the ball. Robbie Simmons charging back in towards the forwards. Kears forwards, 4 of the Kears forwards still on the ground. They should be on their feet and looking to support their centre. Broderick comes away with it. Timoti goes back to the forwards again, stepping through tackles, pushing away players. Kears looking to set again, clearing again. Another pressure situation for West. So quick to get back there and pick up that loose ball. And just unlucky for the Kears. If they had picked up the bounce there, it would have been another 4-pointer. Zach Costa collecting the ball in his own 25, decides to counter-attack. Runs around 1, 2, picked up by the third man, but was able to spread the ball across his back line. Robbie Simmons chips it ahead. Alman sends it back with interest and follows through. But not finding touch. Broderick picks it up, seems to be in some trouble, and Zach Costa clears, finding touch. Terry Broderick holding his calves. Looks like he might have trouble with cramp. Plays to go on. Terry Broderick's happy to stay out there in the wing position, and certainly a suitable halfback, a suitable replacement halfback there in Robbie Simmons. Played at halfback on numerous occasions for Kears A grade. Pulled down by West, Bos McGowan cleaning up and turning to deliver the ball. Terrible mistake. Mick Wilkes once again fumbles the ball, knocking it on. Made some valuable metres when he picked the ball up and was taken to ground by the Kears second rower, captain coach Chris Roberts. Broderick clears from the scrum. Wellington puts the ball ahead, and it's a chase to the line. The flying players take out the corner post. Unfortunately, the ball disappears over the dead ball line, and play will come back to a 22-metre dropout. Derek Hansen to take the kick. Kears now with the problem, looking into the sun. They'll be looking to secure this ball and get the drive going once again and head for the try line. The new player on the field, Lloyd, turns and sets it. Kears forwards there in numbers, and West's looking for the drive. Play blows up. Scrum. Referee Uakai awarding the scrum head to West. West trying to get the early drive on Kears. When the scrum's set properly, Kears have no trouble in driving ahead and wheeling the West scrum. West have won the scrum, but it looks like it's just about went over the 90 degrees again. The halfback was almost picked off by Peter Costa on the side of the scrum. Ball gets to Hansen, chips it ahead. Kears on the charge once again. Back row doing all the work. West player picks the ball up, but loses it again in the tackle. We're going to play a knock on against Kears. West to feed the scrum. About halfway between the 25 and the halfway line in the West Territory. Once again, we're not getting out of West Territory at all in the second half. The few times that the play has been down into the Kears area, it's quickly come back. The pressure right back on West again. A chip ahead from the West halfback, and Zach Costa picks it up and easily clears it. So now the sun's getting lower. It's a real problem for the line out on this side of the field. The players all trying to find some night vision. Everybody has a go at it. West halfback ends up with it. Everybody in there looking for the rip. Boz McGowan right in the thick of it. West have got the ball. Kears seem to have the drive. Sartain comes away with the ball and he's going to take it blind. He's caught by the Kears players. There's a bit of a scuffle off the ruck. Well, I guess the grand final wouldn't be a grand final without some heated moments, and we've certainly seen them in both games today. I guess the emotions run high, and all players on the field, when being so physical, eventually the tension really comes to the fore. The two captains now being called out, as well as Kears halfback Terry Broderick, known as a fiery player. He's being told by his captain to keep it down. West with the scrum win, and the halfback gaining the advantage there by providing the decoy for the Kears flanker. And although the West back line have been able to cross the gain line, they've given the ball away over the far side of the field. Zach Costa picked it up, made a few metres, and now Kears have been able to clear it ahead. More mistakes from the West back line, and it's left to the 5'8" to aim for the sideline, and he's able to land it just inside the line. A lucky break for West. Some very tired forwards, I think, on both sides now. It's been a fairly torrid battle so far. A very physical struggle. Kears drawing breath once again. Arthur Pons with the throw. It's a high ball and picked up easily by Chris Roberts at number 5. Terry Broderick uncharacteristically leaves it behind, and the ball's collected by one of the West forwards. One way to get the ball out of the ruck, and that's use your boots. Some poor service again to the West 5'8". A good clearing kick by the West's back line though, and gaining some 15 metres, crossing over to the other side of the field. Kears not too concerned about taking a bit of time now. They're settling the play right down. They've got a good enough lead now, 19-0. I don't think they're going to have too much trouble. They maintain the game at their own pace and keep control. West won a line out. Once again, poor service. 5'8" makes a real mess of it. Drops it, knocks it on. Referee playing advantage. Kears picked the ball up and running hard up the grandstand side of the field. Ted Timoti takes it ahead, and the Kears forwards pouring in now, although the ball was already clear. Pressure right back on West once again. Well, they've soaked up plenty of pressure, but I guess they've also given a few points away. And certainly at no time have we really seen West turn around and apply an equal pressure back onto Kears. Well, that was a kick for the line by the 5'8" for West, and it certainly went well astray. It went back to the centre of the field and was easily collected by the Kears back line, and the kick was put in well ahead. Now Kears to counter-attack. A wild pass across the field, aimed at no one in particular. Nobody there to catch it. Kears lucky to come away with it after that situation. Kears winger, centre kick off the right boot. And the ball is placed in the in-goal area by the West halfback. .22-metre dropout for West. A fairly vocal crowd here today. As you can hear, there's a club song from the Warrigals, and they are not even represented in on the field today. But certainly plenty of representation in the crowd, I think, from all clubs and all past players and supporters. Looks like we're on the way to another Kears try. A good break by Dave Wellington. Feeds the ball outside. Basketball pass over the head to Richard Boffey, who takes it around and places it underneath the posts. And that certainly should seal the game for Kears. think there'd be a few lumps in a few throats now. The Kiers are looking at their first grand final victory in 15 years. Well, the pressure that Kiers were applying, that try had to come eventually. I think West was stretched out wide. Dave Wellington changed the point of attack, straightened up, and when the defenders came at him, he was able to, they came off Richard Boffey, and he was able to put the basketball pass over the top and popped the ball straight over to Richard Boffey, who took it wide, beat all his defenders, and was able to run back in underneath the posts and place the ball fairly uncontested. As I was saying, very vocal Warrigal's group in the grandstand. It's good to see all the clubs have been down this morning, or the 3 clubs represented in the finals have been down this morning and flying their colours in the grandstand. Warrigal's, of course, not getting a game here today apart from the C grade, where they easily defeated the Gunpowder side. Warrigal's, after having only won one game throughout the year, were very unlucky to be beaten 11-10 by West in the semi-final and the knockout final, and West came through to the grand final to take on Kiers. Of course, fittingly, West and Kiers have been the 2 strength sides of the 1991 season. Kiers going through very easily and taking their spot in the grand final, and West having to fight off a last-minute challenge by Warrigal's. Kiers once again spinning it wide. Richard Boffey puts the kick in, but it's deflected, and Kiers are going to counter-attack again. Robbie Simmons taken to ground after the kick. But I think it's too late in the game for any of the Kiers players to get hurt. They're all feeling pretty good about themselves. West going for a very quick line-out before Kiers get settled. But they're still able, the Blues are still able to take the ball away from their opponents. Kiers forwards piling in once again. Roderick clearing. Wellington to put it downfield. Fairly low trajectory kick straight over the top, and the winger on the far side toes it ahead, but he's unlucky. The bounce takes it out across the touchline, and if he'd got the bounce on the inside, he could have picked that ball up and easily run in another try. The score now 25 points to 0 in favour of Kiers. Well, the shadows on Rugby Park this afternoon are almost as long as the faces of the West players. I think there'd be some fair disappointment in the green and gold camp tonight. However, to play in a grand final, of course, is something that a lot of rugby players only dream of. And, of course, to win it has been a lifelong dream, as Peter Costa said during the week, for himself and his son Zach. It's quite a feat. Kiers backline on the rampage once again. Richard Boffey unlucky to lose it ahead. And West will get the put into the scrum. Fresh reserve Pat Tate, the first one to the mark of the scrum, and eager to get on with the job. West come up with the win. Kiers still putting the drive on in that scrum. Lovely take by Timoti. In big steps, he charges ahead, pushes off all the defenders. The ball's picked up then by Peter Costa, and he also charges ahead. Unfortunately, the ball is lost over the line, but they've made quite a few metres there from where the ball was picked up from that kick. pace of the game hasn't really slowed down too much, I guess. We had a little lapse there earlier when there was plenty of sun on the field, but now that the ground is cooling off a bit, there still seems to be plenty of energy around. Looks like Kears are very keen to use their backline. They spread them out. We've had a penalty. I think there was a player in an offside position. The ball was lost, and another player came through and towed the ball across towards the wing position. Charlie Sartain to take the tap. They're going to run it. Took the tap and spread it wide, but the ball didn't find its mark. The winger had to scramble to pick that ball up. Derek Hansen, left to him to win the game on his own, toes ahead and chases his own kick. Unfortunately, it's picked up by the fullback, having a very strong game, Zach Costa. West go for the quick throw at the line in, at the line out. And too many players offside. Tai Uakai awards a penalty in favour of West. It was a very late kick from Mick Wilkes. He put the ball fairly high, but he was under a fair bit of pressure, and he was well tackled when the ball actually left his boot. Looks like Kears have come up with the ball, and they're setting it well. They've decided when they're going to throw it, and they've cleared it. And Robbie Simmons clears away to the touchline on the far side of the field. The full-time siren must be approaching fairly close, I'd say. I don't think there's too much danger of going to extra time today. It certainly has been a reasonably one-sided affair from this point of view. It's been easy to see the mistakes in the West's game, and the minor errors certainly has what's cost them a lot of points. Although the flashes of brilliance and the individual talents of the players are certainly still there in strength, but not good enough to match the drive and aggression of the Kears forward pack and the considerable talents and skills of the Kears backs. We've had a number of penalties, and marching 10 metres each time, and West still, although Kears are scattered everywhere, there's still West are still unable to cross the line. Now, for the first time in the game, the pressure right on Kears. They'll be looking to hold their record intact, to keep their slate clean, and West, of course, will be looking to do exactly the opposite. There's a free kick to West. They'll be taking a tap, and it'll be interesting to see what they're going to do with it. The big men will be looking for the ball. Charlie Sartain takes the ball. He's turned fairly easily by the Kears forwards. So West pour in and put on the drive. However, the ball can't be taken to ground. Kears holding it up. And the referee right on the spot. West managing to place the ball. Finally opened the account for West. So at the end of the day, West regaining some pride. Certainly they should not be ashamed of the game as it's been played. It's been a very physical game on both sides, and certainly the hungrier team has been the more deserving on the day. It's been an excellent crowd here today to watch Kears put together this victory after 15 years of A-grade drought, and I'd say a lot of the Kears supporters and former players will have come out of the woodwork. Certainly the grandstand's full of Kears supporters even when they're not in a grand final, so I can well imagine the numbers that would have rolled up in their favour today. course, for the grand final next year, we'll be looking, there's a possibility that a number of people will be in the new clubhouse. The clubhouse will be started on October sometime this year, within a few weeks, and it should be finished by March for the early games of the pre-season competition in 1992. Derek Hansen has pushed that kick wide, so the score remains 25-4 as the Kiers players are quick to hug each other and congratulate amongst themselves, and the West forwards only too happy to come forward and offer their congratulations to the Kiers players, thoroughly deserved winners at the end of a fine day of rugby. Coach Chris Roberts, he's just been around and personally thanked all the West players for the game. Been a major influence on the Kiers pattern this year, having previously coached in Emerald, Central Queensland. Well, both teams coming over now through the traditional tunnel and giving their opposition a cheer. And Barry Sullivan, the president of the Mount Isa Rugby Union, is waiting with the Vice President, Mr. Jim Moffat, and Barry will be doing the presentation of the cup to the captain of the winning side. To present the cup to the winning team. proceedings. Kia's players are bottoms up, and the West players, I think we'll find, are still standing with their hands on their hips, thoroughly dejected and really finding it very hard to believe that what has transpired here today. I think it's fair to say there's going to be some huge celebrations tonight for the Kia's club, and there's going to be some big headaches tomorrow. In fact, I think the celebrations will probably end up going all weekend. Well, every picture tells a story. The West players, boots and jerseys in hand, are finding their way back to the clubhouse. They'll probably sit there for a little while and collect their thoughts and then wander off and drown their misery. As a contrast, Kias are just warming up. I don't think anyone's taken a jersey off. I can't see anyone with their boots off. And they're getting very keen to get some team photos. Everybody wants to be involved. Down the front, we've got the Kia's cheer squad. And as has become a trend in the last couple of years, we actually see some people emblazoning the name of their team in their hair. Well, Stewie Bell shaved all his hair off, but one of those little kids in the front's got a big K shaved in the front, in the side of his hair. So the moment has passed now, and Kia's arm in arm in some cases are wandering off back towards the shed. They've certainly savoured their moment and made the most of it. The champagne will be passed around for some hours to go yet. Well, Stewie Bell never actually made it on the field, but as a past West player, I'm sure he's now got plenty to say to his ex-compatriots in Steve Imeson and Pat Tate and Dave Gilbert. I'm sure he's explaining some of the things that went wrong and how Kia's won the game. Malcolm Hewitt giving a last wave to the crowd. And there's the West Reserve grade coach, Jerry Jukic, also on the losing end of today's reserve grade game, easily defeated by Euros. And even as the shadows fall over Rugby Park, Jimmy is still in fine form, and it's going to be a long night. He'd have to be the only man at Rugby Park who's allowed to buy and consume 2 cans of beer at one time. So I guess the QTV scoreboard says it all. Kia's 25, West's 4. What more can I say?